Adani shares are back in the game. 10%, 9%, 8%. Well, literally every Adani stock is up while the entire market is sideways. And we also have major news happening in Swiggy and NTPT's new IPO hitting a 10% upper circuit limit on the first day of the debate itself. Hey guys, welcome to Post Market Report. Well, the main news of the day is basically Adani stocks, guys. As you can see on the screen, Adani Enterprise up 9.8%, Adani Port up by 7.6%, Adani Power up about 16.5%. Adani Energy hits an upper circuit at 10%. Adani Green Energy hits an upper circuit at 10%, and Wilmar at 8.28%. So clearly, there's a very huge up momentum in all the Adani stocks. So let's learn what is causing this, what is fueling this huge gains in Adani Group. Well, basically, the news comes after Adani gave a clarification today. The news went viral on 20th of November. Today is 27th. So they've taken about 7 days to come out with a reply, and they have mentioned that they have not been included in the FCPA violation. So basically, the guys, there's something called as FCPA, which stands for Foreign Corrupt Practices Act. Let's say you are raising money in US for you are, as a company, you're raising money, and now if you have done some sort of corruption in your home country, this particular act, FCPA, will allow US government to indict you for your crimes that is done in another country. So till today, what was under the assumption was Gautam Adani is being charged under FCPA, but turns out they have not been charged under this, and their attorney says that they have been charged in they have been indicted in three major cases, that is securities fraud, wire fraud, and alleged securities fraud in some other cases. So clearly FCPA has not been involved, and this is a great news because now that basically goes on to tell you, if they really had some sort of a bribery case, they would have indicted Gautam Adani in FCPA, not under securities fraud. So securities fraud is clearly less intensified compared to FCPA. So this news has been again confirmed by our former Attorney General Mukul Rohtagi. He says that absolutely no bribery cases are going on against Gautam Adani or his nephew in US. So clearly, he mentions that it's nothing to worry because it's not FCPA. So now, as you can see, over the last 7 days from 20th November, Adani stocks have taken a huge hit. About $55 billion worth of market cap was erased in the US charges, and after final 7 days, they've finally come out and mentioned that it's not FCPA. If they had done it sooner, they would have saved a lot of bloodbath in the market related to Adani stocks. And also in another news, basically Congress is urging, currently what is happening in the parliament is the winter session is going on, where they'll be passing many important bills, like work bill is going to be discussed, I think, in the coming week. So clearly Congress wants to bring up this topic of Adani being investigated in US they want to have an open discussion in the parliament in the winter session. So it's very curious to see what will actually transpire in the parliament session, if at all they will be discussing this particular matter. So next off, we have everyone's favorite Swiggy, which has rallied for up to 12% in just a matter of 2 days after the IPO. Now, basically this again comes after another foreign investment banking company, UBS, has initiated a buy coverage. They basically think that it will grow with the CAGR, that is compounded annual growth rate, of 35% and 29% in the next coming 2 years till 27 of F5. So basically, again, I've mentioned this in my previous video as well. Whenever a foreign company initiates a buy rating, a fresh buy rating, not if they had a buy rating before and if they just increase that, it doesn't impact that much. But if there's a fresh buy rating on any Indian stocks by a major financial banking company, like foreign banking companies like UBS or CLSA, what happens is that there will be a huge inflow of foreign funds coming into these particular stocks. So clearly we see the same phenomenon happening again. Swiggy has rallied almost 12% in just a matter of 2 days. So next up, we also have the chart over here. As you can see, after the IPO, it was making low lows. I mean, I wouldn't call it even a downtrend. It was just moving in a sideways market, and as you can see, after the rating, it has skyrocketed, about giving 12% return in just a matter of 2 days. So next off, we have Trump making new headlines every day, and clearly Morgan Stanley, another investment banking company from US, has made a report saying India and Japan are actually not exposed to the tariff risk. Yesterday we noticed Trump has, put up a tariff on Canada, Mexico, and even China. China, though, is going almost by, I think, 35% of tariff on everything they sell. So clearly, India has not been such a, huge victim of this tariff hike. And it's very interesting to know what will happen, because Trump initially, just a few months ago, before he was elected, he mentioned, if I become president, I will impose the same amount of high tariff that India imposes on our products. Basically, if you want to buy a Tesla, for example, it will cost you twice as much, because there's a lot of import tax. So, initially, just a few months ago, I think three to 4 months ago, Trump had mentioned, if I become a president, I will also have same amount of tariff that India levies on us. And clearly, will currently Trump has not levied any sort of tax. And this basically because WTO, World Trade Organization, has some sort of a rule, and India is currently just following that rule. They have not violated it. So clearly, if Trump increases anything, it will be a violation of those WTO rules. So maybe that is why he has not immediately taken any action. But clearly, there are ways that Trump could levy more taxes and could hurt our trade between the countries. So it's interesting to see what steps Trump might take. So next off, we have NTPC Green Energy IPO that just came out today, got listed. But guys, it was only listed with, I think, 3% IPO gains. But after it got listed, it went up by almost 10% and just hit the upper circuit on the first day of trading session itself. That's very great for the stock, hitting an upper circuit on the first day. And next up, we have Siemens, which posted some fourth quarterly results. And profit is up by a whooping 45%. If I can just show you the actual figures over here, 830 crores of net profit, up almost 45%. That's a huge, growth in net profit. And even revenue is up by 11.25%, to almost 6,400 crores worth of revenue. And EBITDA is very more than a healthy increase in EBITDA, 34% at 938 crores.
If you're a trader following market calls and tips for day trading, use our tool RNT, Research and Trade. All you have to do is link RNT to your trading account, then just sit and relax. Turn trading into business at app.gwcindia.live. Check out description for more details.
Disclaimer: investments in the securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.